Hello and welcome to this third video tutorial of B2B Marketplace for the WooCommerce platform. And in the previous video, we just showed you the different module options that are there within the B2B Marketplace for the WooCommerce, like the suppliers, commission, feedback, attributes, notifications, quotes, shop inquiry, and much more. And in this third video tutorial of the B2B Marketplace for WooCommerce, today I'll be showing you the supplier end workflow, and we'll be checking what different options are there. And before that, we'll be showing you how a user would be able to register himself as a supplier initially, and thereafter we'll take you through the complete workflow of the supplier account panel. So for that, let me take you to the front end first. So right now I'm at the WooCommerce marketplace for the B2B thing at the web store front end right now. So on this particular page, we have the My Account section wherein the customers can log in from the left hand side, and if you want to register yourself, you can register yourself on the right hand side, as you can see here. So to register yourself as a normal one, you can basically use this register section on the right hand side. Otherwise, to register as a seller, if a user wants to register himself as a supplier, then he just needs to tap here on the supplier within the top header, and this brings up the supplier section wherein the supplier would be able to register himself. So on the right hand side, to register as a supplier, the supplier just needs to enter his email, the password for the account, his first name, last name, the shop name that he wants to set up, his shop URL, and the phone number. And thereafter he just needs to tap on the register button at the end to register himself as a supplier within the B2B marketplace for the WooCommerce platform. So that was how a supplier would be able to basically register himself. And now let's do one thing. Let's log into our supplier account. So from the same page, from the supplier page, basically we'll be logging in. So to log into the supplier account, I'll just enter my username, password, and I'll be tapping here on the login button, and this will bring up the dashboard of the supplier. And from here, the supplier can navigate to the B2B marketplace section here, and below that he can find the different options that are there for the suppliers, like the dashboard, orders, chit chat, commission, notifications, code, shop inquiry, shop followers, and the account settings. So let's go to the dashboard first, and let's see what different options are there. So basically the suppliers of the marketplace can see the dashboard from the backend, as you can see right now. And on the dashboard, they'll be able to see their lifetime sales, total payout, remaining amount, and basically the refunded amount as well. So that was about the dashboard. Now let's go to the orders section. And under the orders section, the suppliers can see all of the orders that have been placed for their products, and can see a complete list of the orders. Apart from that, the suppliers can also view the orders by clicking the view for their respective order. So tapping on the view button brings out the complete details of that particular order, as you can see here. And the supplier can basically change the order status under the order status section. So basically, if the supplier wants to change the status, he needs to navigate to the order status section, and from here he can change the status of the particular order that has been placed, and can tap on the save button thereafter. And on the order details page, the supplier can also print the invoice by clicking on the print invoice button. So at the top here, you can see that we have the option print invoice. If I type that up, and that would bring up the option to print the invoice for that particular order. So here you can see that right now we can see the invoice of the order number 167 with the complete details as well. And tapping the print button at the top right hand corner would print up this particular invoice for the order number 167. Apart from changing the what we say as the order status, printing the invoice, the supplier will also be able to refund the order as well by tapping the refund button. If I tap the refund button, here the supplier needs to enter the refund reason here within this particular section, as you can see here. And The supplier also needs to enter the refund amount. So here you'll enter the refund amount. First you need to enter the option, like the reason why you're going to refund, and then you need to enter the amount, or the refund amount within this particular section. And you can also choose the refund quantity here. For example, if you are choosing it as 1, so here you can see that the refund amount has automatically been set up, the amount that needs to be refunded. If it were 2 quantities for the same product, then it would be the double for the respective amount. After that, the supplier just needs to tap on this particular refund manually button, so as to make a refund to the respective customer. So that was about the orders. Now let's go to the section that's the now let's go to the shop inquiry section. And on the shop inquiry, here the supplier can ask their queries to the marketplace admin. And by coming to this shop inquiry page, the supplier would be able to add a new shop inquiry by tapping on the add new button at the top. Apart from that, he can make bulk actions to delete the created shop inquiries by first selecting the various inquiries that he has created, and then from the drop down for the bulk actions, he needs to tap on the delete button and then tap the apply one thereafter. So to add a new shop inquiry, he just needs to tap on the add new button. That brings up a section wherein the supplier would be able to enter the subject along with the message. And lastly, he needs to tap on the ask button to send the or to create the query for the shop. And from here also he can tap on the send button to send that particular inquiry to the admin. So that was about the shop inquiry, and let's go to the shop followers. Now basically under the shop followers section, the suppliers would be able to see a list of all the shop followers, and these are the customers that have followed this particular shop. So all of those would be visible here. And moreover, the suppliers can basically send notifications to the customers by clicking on the send notification button here. And once the seller taps on this send notification button, they have to enter the subject and the message for the same, and after that they just need to tap on the send notification button at the last. And after that, the supplier basically can tap on the send notification button to send the notification to the respective customer. So under these under the shop follows, all of the follows of this particular supplier's shop are visible, and the supplier can send them notifications by going to the actions column and tapping the send notification button, and then entering the subject, for example, and the message thereafter. For example, I've entered this and I'll enter my message. I'll tap on the send notification. So that's how the supplier would be able to send the notification to the respective customers. And a customer basically can become the follower by clicking the add as favorite supplier button on the product page itself. So right now I'm at the web store front end, for example, and to add this particular product, or if the customer wants to add this particular seller as a favorite seller, then he just needs to tap here on the add as favorite supplier button, and then this particular seller would be added to his favorite supplier list. And from here as well, the customers can basically tap on the more information button so as to make a quick order, or can also request for quote for purchasing the products in bulk from the respective supplier. Now let me take you back to the supplier account. Now let's go to the account settings here, and basically the account settings for the supplier profile basically displays the critical information about the suppliers. After registration, the supplier just needs to complete their profile, and for managing the profile, the supplier will come to B2B Marketplace and then the account settings. And here he has around 5 tabs to configure. One is general, social, supplier, policy, and category. So under the general, he can set up the user profile. Or that's basically the logo for the shop. that you can see here. So from here, the supplier just needs to tap here on the upload button to upload a shop logo. Then the supplier can add a shop banner. As you can see right now, we have just added one demonstrative banner. So to add a new, you just tap on the upload button and select the same. Thereafter, the uh, the supplier needs to enter his shop name, so that was already set up, the shop slug, the shop tagline, and lastly he needs to tap on the save changes button to save the general settings for the account of the supplier there. Now to change the user profile image, the supplier needs to navigate through the profile and then change the profile image on Gravatar. So you can do that if you want to change your profile image, this one. So for that, you'll have to basically navigate through the profile and then change the profile image on the Gravatar itself. Now let's go to the social tab, and let's see what different options are there under the social tab. So here the supplier would be able to enter the company shop overview. So the very first option that is there. Then they can set the meta keywords and the meta descriptions for their shop. Then meta keywords are there, meta descriptions are here, and thereafter the supplier can basically add their Twitter, then the Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus, YouTube ID, Vimeo ID, Pinterest ID, and their tax and VAT number as well. And thereafter they just need to tap on the save changes button. Now let's go to the supplier tab, and here the suppliers would be able to set up their personal information like their username, the display name that they want to get displayed at the front end, the first name, the last name, their email address, their nickname, their website, their role or the designation, and they can also set the response from and response to times, and the response type can be set up as in hours and days as well. Apart from that, the supplier can also set up his payment details by entering the details of his payment. For example, he can enter his PayPal ID here for receiving the amount from the admin. And lastly, verification status is verified. So lastly, he just needs to tap on the save changes button to save the configuration of the supplier. That's the basically the personal information of the supplier. Now under the policy, the supplier can enter their written policy, their shipping policy, and their privacy policy as required. And lastly, under the category section, the suppliers can basically see all of your allowed categories that have been assigned or enabled by the admin from the module configuration settings. So the suppliers would only be able to add their products within these particular categories. Now I've shown you how we can register as a seller, and the dashboard of the seller and the different options under the B2B marketplace for WooCommerce for the suppliers there. And now let's go to the front end and let's see how the supplier profile gets displayed. So for that, I'll just take you to the web store front end. You can see the supplier's profile page right now, and at the very top we have the banner. Below that, on the left hand side, we have the name of the supplier, and the info is also visible on the right hand side. Apart from that, we can see the response time in hours, the average rating depending upon the price value and the quality of the products that this particular supplier is providing. Apart from that, you can see the recent products, and you can also directly navigate to the sections like the profile, product, reviews, company, quick orders, request for a quote, policies, and contact section. So let me scroll down a bit, and here you can see the reviews section. The reviews for this particular supplies. Tapping favor would display all of the reviews. Then we have the company overview, the name of the seller, the address, his social channels, and here we have the company policies. We have how from here we can basically contact the supplier, and we also have the supplier address and the supplier contact card as well. So depending upon how we have configured it from the account panel of the supplier itself, all of these details get visible on the seller's profile page. So that was about the supplier profile. And now let me take you back to the supplier account panel first. Now after the seller profile, let me go to other options that are there available to the supplier itself. So let's go to the commission section and let's see what options are there. So basically here the supplier would be able to see his commission, the total sales, his commission amount, the paid amount, amount remaining, and the last pay amount from the admin. Similarly, let's go to the notification center, and here the supplier would be able to see the notifications according to the product and the orders. For the products that have been approved, disapproved, those notifications get visible here, and from here the supplier can also tap on this particular link to check that particular product notification. And under the order one, the supplier would be able to check the different notifications for the orders that have been placed for his products, and can check the orders by directly tapping on the link for the respective notification. And under the quotes, basically here the supplier would be able to see all of the requests for quotations that the customers have sent in for the various products, and can check the number of products that have been asked for, the name of the customer, and the status for each of the RFQs. Apart from that, the supplier can also check the buying leads by tapping here on the buying leads tab, and below that he can check the products, the customers, the category to which that particular product belongs to, and the status of each. And apart from that, now let's go to the chit chat section. So basically here the suppliers would be able to chat with the customers, and right now you can see that the that Mr. Doe, the supplier, is online right now, and he can basically chat with the customers, and the customers would be able to initiate this chat from the product page itself. So let me give you an example for that. So here I'm at the WooCommerce B2B Marketplace front end right now, and on the product page. And from here, the customers can message the suppliers, and can also basically tap here on the more information section to place a quick order or request for the quote for buying this particular product in bulk. And we'll be talking about the quick order and the request for quote and the other options in the next video. That's the part 4 for this particular plugin, wherein we'll be showing you the complete customer workflow, which includes the customer end as well as the seller end, where we'll be placing the quick orders and the request for quotes as well. So we are talking about the chat right now. So on the product page here, you can see that the Doe supplier is online right now, and basically we can start messaging the supplier by tapping here, and this brings up this particular chat window. And from here, hey, I need assistance, and thereafter we can basically send this particular message to the respective supplier for this particular product. So here we have this arrow, and we have sent the message to this particular supplier that whose product page is open right now, and the customer has sent out the message to this particular what we see as this supplier. You can also tap here on the message supplier button as well on each of the product pages as well, and that would open the respective chat window to directly communicate with that product's supplier. So from here as well you can do that. Otherwise you can directly go here and you can tap here on the minus sign to bring it up. To close it, you can just tap here on the cross button to close it down. So that was much about the seller workflow, and we showed you how the suppliers would be basically able to check the different options under their own account panel, and we showed how to register a supplier and the rest of the things there. And in the next part 4 of this video, we'll be showing you the customer workflow. We'll be showing the actual workflow that includes, for example, the quick quote is there, or the quick purchase is there. Then we have the request for quote from the customers and to the sellers, that particular a section where the customers would be able to purchase a product in bulk at a certain amount that has been set by the customers, and how that process works. And we'll also be providing you with some details regarding the chat module that works within this particular module. What different requirements are there for that, how you can set that up on your server, what different files are required for that, and uh, and some other more informations as well. So thanks for watching this particular video today, and I hope it helped you out somewhat in understanding what different options are there under the suppliers account panel. And thanks for watching this particular video, and if you have any questions or queries regarding this particular plugin, then you can always get back to us at support@webcool.com, or you may raise a ticket at webcool.huitas.com. Thanks for watching this video and have a great day.